I'm gonna be desensitizing Atlas with the rope. So my goal here is to do some desensitizing and use it very much like the tapping. So I just tossed the rope on there, and then he starts licking and chewing. I had to kind of make sure that he wasn't gonna run into my space or remind him of that. But my goal is to be the same as the tapping. So like I'm gonna rhythmically desensitize until he shows me that sign of relaxation. I'm gonna take it away and wait until he releases the tension by licking or chewing or blinking or lowering his neck or blowing his nose, something like that. So I wanted to just experiment and see if that was possible doing just regular desensitizing work, and that's what I'm playing with here. So he's looking at something now, and then he comes back to me. He kind of wants to switch sides a lot. I just make sure he's not too close to me. And there he's kind of connecting, and he just wants to stand next to me. I'm just gonna put a little pressure. I don't want to make him feel wrong for it, but I also don't want him to make that more of a habit than it already is. So, and this is fine. This is a good position for him. I really like how low his neck is, how relaxed he is, and this is right after I just finished tapping him too. So he has already been tapped and is pretty relaxed. But so he gets stuck with his head up a lot. And so once he actually started lowering his head and like having his neck horizontal, I'm like, oh wow, you're actually very tiny, because he is a small horse. He's a pony size. So it's a big difference from what he used to be. That was nice. So he blinked and kind of lowered his head. So I'm going to take the rope away and then just kind of wait for him here if he wants to lick or chew or something else. So it's going to be a waiting game. Again, just like the tapping, you're going to have to just wait and see what the horse will give you and take your time. And the desensitizing is something that Atlas is familiar with. But I wanted to experiment. Could I make it as similar to the tapping as possible? Which I think you can. I hadn't really seen it done a whole lot. But I was like, okay, well, if I introduce a stimulus, like I do the dressage whip, and then I wait till I see the relaxation, I was like, that could be interesting. So that's what we're playing with here, and just seeing if I could associate what the pressure meant to him. So if I am tossing the rope on him and I wait till he relaxes and then I take it away, I want it to be more of a relaxing situation for him than it is normally, and as if that was something that I could train at all. And then throughout it, I'm just always reminding him of my personal space as gently and as effectively as I can. So again, just doing a little bit here, and he looks really great. Like, the goal really isn't to desensitize him, it's to just see if I could make this relaxing to him. So, and again, just reminding him of my space. I think with the tapping, and like I'd done some Masterson method work with him as well, I feel like he maybe wants to rub on me or needs to feel some kind of other release. Like maybe he wants to like rub his head on me or something because he's trying to release this tension. That's why he's coming close to me. I'm not super sure. I don't think he's doing it to be pushy. I think he's doing it to just come closer to me and maybe needs to rub his head or something. I hadn't figured that one out yet though. But I don't think he's doing it to be bad. There he's just kind of sniffing my hand and bumped his nose on my hand. And there he's licking and chewing. So this looks really nice, actually. It looks really great. The tapping I'm really happy with, and this experiment was pretty interesting. I don't really use this very much, like in my training. It was just something that I wanted to play with, but I did think it was really interesting. So I wanted to throw that in. And this is something, especially with this, you have to have a ton of patience and a ton of awareness of where the horse is at mentally. It's not something you can just toss the rope on and wait till he stops. Like, that's not what it's about. It's waiting for that relaxation, and that can take a really long time. So I've found it easier and faster to just use the positive reinforcement, but this was a really interesting experiment. So, but I'm just gonna wait here. I had to toss it over his withers, and then I'm just gonna wait and see what he does here. And again, I'm still not super sure why he's always changing sides. I know if they're changing consistently to one side, he's just not comfortable with you on that side, but he's switching both sides pretty evenly. So I'm not sure on that one. Even now, because this is an older video when I'm voicing it over, but it's just an interesting behavior to note, and then hopefully I'll figure it out sometime. But again, he's wanting to connect here and kind of be interested in me and keep his head there, and I like where his neck's at and his head's at. It looks really nice. And I like how when I stepped up to him, like I approached him and then tossed the rope over, his outline didn't change. Like he was following me with his ears, but he stayed relaxed. Like his mouth's nice and relaxed here. He's staying connected. Like he wants to investigate me. Like I like all of these signs. These are all really cool signs. And like the end of his rope's on the ground. Like he's just very relaxed and okay with everything. And this body language right here is very different to what it was previously, really, before we started tapping. I mean, he was much more relaxed with me in my presence, but he just kind of carried that tension in his body, and it was something that you really have to work hard to get rid of, and I think the tapping did that more so than anything could. And you can still have that tension in the horse's body when you're using clicker training, positive reinforcement, because you've clicked it in, you've added it in, you've rewarded it. So I just thought that was really interesting. I really thought that was a cool add-on with the tapping and this relaxation, desensitizing. So it's just interesting to me, but I just thought it was a cool demonstration of the change in his behavior. Because I noticed a very drastic change, but he wants to connect and kind of sniff my hand, and he's just staying really relaxed, and there we go. We have some nice licking and chewing. So that was a really cool session for me. I thought that was very interesting. He wants to connect and and that's okay if he wants to lip my hands and investigate. Very cool. But yeah, that's all I did with him with that, but I think I did that with the stick too, but I thought it was pretty cool.